What's up, guys? We are just 2 days away from this Sunday's WWE Money in the Bank. And last year I did a video where I made my Money in the Bank prediction about who I thought was going to win the matches. Well, this summer I'm doing the exact same thing. So this video right here is my WWE Money in the Bank 2016 prediction. Now, of course, I'm not going to go in order with the card. So, without further ado, let me get started. So, one of the matches that's on this card is the Apollo Crews versus Sheamus match. Now, for this match, I'm going to go with Apollo Crews. Now, for one, not too long ago, he had just recently came to WWE, and this would be a big opportunity for him to actually step up, because he's already a good wrestler. He's already a good star, but for him to face Sheamus, it could look really good on his behalf. And I'm going to go with Apollo Crews. It would be no reason for Sheamus to win, to be quite honest. Now, Sheamus has been downhill since the League of Nations broke up. One thing I've noticed is that Sheamus, they haven't really been booking him as good since the League of Nations have broke up. I don't even remember the last match that Sheamus actually won, because Sheamus had lost his match to qualify into the Money in the Bank. He lost that match. Now, last year, Sheamus was the one to win the Money in the Bank. This year, he wasn't even able to go to the Money in the Bank because he lost the qualifying match. In which, in certain ways, I can kind of understand that, because, I mean, he was there last year, and it made perfect sense not to put him in there this year. But one thing that I didn't like is how they had Apollo Crews lose to Chris Jericho. That should have been Apollo Crews' spot at the Money in the Bank instead of Chris Jericho. But anyway, like I said, for that particular match, Apollo Crews versus Sheamus, I'm going to go for Apollo Crews, and we're just going to keep it moving like that. Next match on this card, you got Rusev versus Titus O'Neil for the United States Championship. Now, I'll be quite honest, for this match, it's pretty obvious that Rusev is going to win. Like I said, this is my prediction, and this prediction right here is like nearly 99% true. If I was saying about 100, I'm just tipped it a little bit, say 99%. Because, I mean, it's pretty obvious. We already know. And some people say that Titus O'Neil is not going to win because of his incident with Vince McMahon. That's not why I think he's not going to win. I just know that he's not going to win. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's going to end the same way that half of Rusev's matches end. Either Titus O'Neil is going to pass out or he's going to tap out. It's going to be one or the other. It's pretty obvious that they're not going to have Titus O'Neil win the United States Championship. Now, I would love for Titus O'Neil to have a single run in the future, because it seems like he has not had a real big push even before that incident. And you would think he would have that by now as long as he's been in WWE, but that's not the case. So, for the Titus O'Neil versus Rusev match, I think that the match itself could be okay, most likely average. I'm not going to sit there and say that it's going to be all of that, but it's pretty obvious that Rusev is going to retain his United States Championship. I mean, that is just obvious. We already see that coming. Next match on this card, which I am very, very irritated with this match, and I don't know why they're continuing to do it. Now, I don't know if this is on the pre-show or if this is on the actual card now, but Braun Coleman, or however you say his name, Corbin, is scheduled to face Dolph Ziggler. Now, it was one thing where the night after WrestleMania, he tried to make a name for himself by attacking Dolph Ziggler. But it didn't help that WWE had decided that they were going to have Dolph Ziggler win at not only Payback, but then to win again at Extreme Rules, that really kills his momentum. It's like, what was the point of having him seem like this real big, strong heel just for him to go out and lose when it really counted? Because he lost both pay-per-views in a row, so I don't even get why this storyline is still going. Because if they wanted to really make him look strong, they would have had him beat Dolph Ziggler. There was no reason why they should have done that. And for this match, honestly, as far as who I think is going to win, I think that they just may give it to Braun Coleman just for once. Because last time I checked, he didn't win at Payback, and he didn't win at Extreme Rules. Dolph Ziggler won both times. So it's like, I think they're finally going to have him win. But this feud needs to end as soon as possible because we're sick and tired of seeing it. It's been consistently going on since the night after WrestleMania, and they have not actually built from it. It's one thing if both guys are benefiting from the feud, but the only person that's really, I mean, as sad as it is, really neither one of them are benefiting from the feud, because for Dolph Ziggler, he could be out there facing bigger and better guys and actually trying to get his career back to where it was before he was pushed at this stage to nearly almost becoming a jobber. And then Braun Coleman, they can put him against other guys so that he can get more bigger as a star, considering the fact that he was recently called to the main roster this year, the night after WrestleMania, the same way as I was talking about Apollo Crews. So for this match, I think they're going to finally give it to Braun Coleman, but I don't know. It just depends on how the creative team book it. It just all depends on what they decide that they're going to do, quite honestly. Next match on this card, you got John Cena versus AJ Styles. Now, I'm going to be quite honest with this match right here. I think if booked well, if written well, this match could be really interesting. Now, as far as the person I believe is going to win, I see, it's kind of funny because John Cena has not been in a pay-per-view match majority of this year due to injury. And so he was last seen at WrestleMania, and I feel like what they're going to do is, because of that, because he hasn't had a single pay-per-view match this year, I don't see them actually giving it to AJ Styles, even though, you know, a lot of people are saying that AJ Styles is going to get buried by John Cena. I don't believe that at all, honestly. I just feel like the biggest reason why AJ Styles may not win would be because John Cena himself hasn't even been in a pay-per-view match any of this year. Now, that has nothing to do with AJ Styles because that was his injury. But we know how WWE can get with John Cena. So with this match, like I said, this is just prediction, so it's just my opinion. This is just what I think. You don't have to agree with me with this. Anybody can disagree with me with this. I don't, have anything against anyone who disagrees with this, but I personally believe that John Cena is going to win this match. And if AJ Styles win, I'm going to be, it'll be really surprising to me. It wouldn't be that surprising because last year Kevin Owens beat John Cena. A lot of people say that the rivalry between these guys are going to be exactly the same as it was with Kevin Owens and John Cena. Well, let's look at that rivalry. Let's think about it for a minute. When John Cena rivaled Kevin Owens only beat him one time. John Cena won the other two times. So either way, even if it's not this time, John Cena, if they had continued his rivalry, is going to win one way or another. So, for AJ Styles, this is big on his behalf because he has not won a pay-per-view match since Fastlane against Chris Jericho. And so it's like, how much more is he going to keep losing on pay-per-views? Now, it'd be more fitting to have AJ Styles win so that John Cena can put him over, and it would look good for AJ Styles and for his heel turn to actually mean something, for people not to take it as a joke. But I think, and this could very well be the complete opposite, that John Cena, some way or another, is going to end up winning. And if he doesn't win, that'd be a better route to go. But we all know how the creative team and how Vince McMahon thinks these days and how he comes up with decisions. So at the end of the day, it just depends on the decision that they all come up with. And I think that's going to be a really good match anyway, just for the two guys who's in it. I think that they can really tear the house down, but we'll see how that turns out. Next match in this card, like I said, I'm not going in order, so this is why I'm going the way I'm going. You got the Tag Team Championship on the line. It's a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. The New Day versus the Vaudevillains versus the Bullet Club versus, what was that other team? Oh yeah, Ozzo Moro and his partner. I'm sorry, but I can't say their names for some reason. I don't know why. I just can't. But anyway, you got all four of those tag team facing each other. For this match, I think that, even though the New Day has technically already broken the record for becoming the longest reigning tag team champions, they have, from what I heard, they already broke the record of doing that because, Paul London and Brian Kendrick, they had the record of being the longest reigning tag team champions. I think the New Day already broke it. But at the same time, I feel like the New Day can retain. Now, it could be a plot twist and they could actually lose the tag team titles with it being a fatal 4-way tag team match. But as far as who I would want to beat them for it out of all four of these tag teams, it would obviously be also Moore and his partner. It would obviously be that team. It wouldn't be the Vaudevillains because they would just suck as tag team champions. And the Bullet Club would actually look pretty like a beast as a tag team champion. Now, how fitting would it be for the WWE to have AJ Styles beat John Cena, and not only that, but for the Bullet Club to win the tag team titles on the same night? No, that would look really good for them, and that would make them look strong as a heel tag team, as a heel trio. That would make them look really strong if they had AJ Styles beat John Cena and the Bullet Club win the tag team championship at the same time. But I don't know, the way how WWE does things, I don't know if they actually do it that way. So for this match, I'm just going to stick it safe and say that the New Day are going to retain. Now, this is not guaranteed to happen because the New Day has been tag team champions for a long time. And as entertaining as I find them, their time is really coming to an end. There's more teams coming into the division. There's more competition coming to the division. They want to see them lose the tag team titles. Everybody wants it to happen at some point. And I just think that if it doesn't happen this pay-per-view, it's going to happen sooner than later. So as of right now, I'm going to go safe and say that the New Day are going to retain the tag team championship. Now, next match on this card is the Money in the Bank itself. You got Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, Alberto Del Rio, and Sami Zayn, and it might be one person I'm missing out in this match that I can't think of right now. Who am I missing? I'm missing somebody, but I can't think of them. You got about 7 people in this Money in the Bank match. Based on what I've seen, honestly, I don't know if I said this already, but honestly, it's crazy because every time I look at Raw or something, they got someone else that seems like they're going to win. Now, to be honest, who I would want to win the Money in the Bank, I would go for Cesaro. That would be my pick. But as a prediction of who I think WWE is going to have winning Money in the Bank, I honestly think it's going to be between really one or two people. It's either going to be Kevin Owens or it's going to be Dean Ambrose. Why do I choose two people? Because of this. Kevin Owens, as we've seen a lot recent, they've really been pushing him. Like, they've been pushing him big time. From the time of late last year till now, he's been getting a push. And I would not be surprised if the WWE cashed on that and actually had him win the Money in the Bank. So I can definitely see him winning. I can actually see him win it more than anyone else that's even in the Money in the Bank. Dean Ambrose, I could see him winning because then they could go in a route of actually having all 3 Shield members face each other. But as a number 1 pick, though, I'm gonna go with Kevin Owens. So, unfortunately, as I usually do, I'm gonna have to make a second video. So stay tuned, guys, because part 2 I will cover the main event. I'm gonna finish up this match in Money in the Bank, and I'm gonna talk about the main event on part 2. So stay tuned, guys.